don't know a property. Obviously, you get it on social media now. You've got all these agents that try and be the person that you think you should be, right? There's a few at the moment. I'll give you an example. Daggers, right? Let's use that example, which is probably a little. I don't relate to him at all. I don't really like what he's about. I feel like he's a bit narcissistic. That is not who I want to be, right? And I'm sorry, but they put themselves up there. They should be allowed a bit of criticism, which it feels like they're not allowed any criticism because
probably a good bloke.
He might be personally as a bloke away from property, but in terms of like the way he presents himself, he shows himself as a know-it-all. And there's a few others like this Grant Bates guy that does it as well. And I'm like, that's not real. I don't relate to that. Whereas Ari makes mistakes, and because everything's like the filter is no mistakes, isn't it? Perfect. Whereas we watch these series now, and Ari makes all these mistakes, and he does all these things, and you're like, I relate to that because I'm making mistakes when I'm doing deals and when I'm in life. You know, Tony Soprano, how many mistakes did you make during the series? You relate to it because you're allowed to make a few mistakes in your life, whereas these people now on social media,
it's all perfect, sunshine and rainbows.
Well, I do think sometimes it relates.
Exactly right, isn't it? It's draining. Yeah. It tires you out because you think, I can't compete with that.
But sometimes, like, obviously I'm the most junior here I've been at Alex Martin for 2 years, and I was in the property game for 2 years before that. And sometimes I speak to agents, I speak to people, and you can tell they're not like. Some people are a lot more patient. Some people say, mate, if you ever need me and Alex and Joe aren't available, just call me. And I do, but there's other people you speak to and you automatically think, oh, are you looking down on me because I haven't been in the game as long? Like, you can definitely
egos.
Egos. And it's not nice to, do you know what I mean? I'd rather someone say, look, you're wrong about that, but it's sweet, it's fine. Like, you know, we'll work on it.
I think I don't like to preach to people about how to conduct themselves or whatever. You conduct yourself however you want, but I think just make sure you're human with people is the key, isn't it? I think like that's why you get on with people well. You're human, you talk to people properly, and I think the same thing, I'm sure you do the same. I know we've not come across each other often, but that's because we haven't done a deal together. But if you can ring me up and go, right mate, how's it going, or like what's going on, and you can talk about a bit of football and a bit of this and a bit of like, I've had a weekend, I've had a nightmare, I've had this, it makes you feel a bit more like
personable.
Yeah, exactly. And there's people I ring up and they're like, everything's going well mate, yeah, I'm doing really well, and you're like, oh my
it's like
God.
A competition.
Yeah, and
I think the key to that might be showing vulnerability.
Yeah.
Building relationships is being vulnerable and letting someone see you at your lowest and your highest. Because I've had a friend, I'm not going to name the name, but I'm sure that you might have as well, but some friends, they only tell you when it's going good. Yeah. And that's not what true friends do, because you, as a friend, you want your friend to tell you that he's suffering because you want to roll around in the mud with them. You want to, shovel the shit with them. Yeah, you want to help them. Yeah. And if they don't give you that opportunity to help them, then you can't really create a bond. It's more so a competition.
Yeah. I've lost like best friends from that mantra. Yeah. Like, you can't relate to them. They'll never come to you. Whether that's because they...
Insecurity.
You might be right. You might be right, but like, I always think that I'm open to that. And if someone tells me something where they need my help, I'm there to help them. That's like in my nature. Like I talk to you about like my missus going for viewings and whatever, and I want to help people. I want to make sure people are all right. If you open that up, I think it makes you feel better about people. It just gives you that connection where it's not always great. Like, it is not always great. Everything's tough. The market's tough. Deals are tough. Life's tough. You might have conversations or things going on. You've got stuff going on. You've got stuff going on. And how often do you have it where people... Like, it can work in reverse, actually, where people always throw all of their shit on the table and they make that the excuse to not... It's a balance. Like, give people a nugget of, I'm struggling with this at the moment, mate, but I'm really here to try and make this deal happen, or whatever it might be, or just a normal conversation. Yeah. Let's work through this together, and then we'll break the conversation up into two. And, if you want to have a beer because you've got a problem going on at home, I'll have a beer with you, mate.